Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is the 10th of June, 11 a.m. Central European Time, and we have a decent Monday show for you today. As always, Mondays are the hardest days of the week to stream because nothing happens over the weekend apart from people trolling each other. We have some interesting articles to get through. Bitcoin is on the edge. If we go back up towards 71, 72,000, billions are going to be liquidated in shorts. So is that going to happen today? We're going to talk about the Bitcoin longs today. Charles is miffed. What have I been saying on the stream for weeks about Cardano in the press? We're going to have a look at what Charles thinks about the situation. Big week ahead. This is the theme of the show. Weak need. It's a play on words. We have some data coming out this week. We have some announcements coming out this week. As always, this is the most important week in the history of crypto. So we're going to go through that. Two buy the dips, two coins been promoting by these social media influencers. Do I agree with them? And we're going to look at some charts as well on those. Unlocks this week. There's some big unlocks this week. Try and cover as many of these as I can. Not a Chance is about Notcoin. Again, my most disliked coin of the year so far. Final thoughts. I don't know if we're even going to get to that given what we've got to get through. Bottom right hand corner, still got a $74,000 target for Bitcoin. Are we going to get there this week or next week? Who knows? We can go up as quickly as we came down. Bottom left hand corner, we are just over 136,000 followers. If you are new here, if you've never heard us before you actually listen to us, smash the subscribe button. It's always important to smash the subscribe button before you have any idea what we're going to say. Anyway, a few shout outs and a few good mornings. Hidden Agendas, Solo Sky, JC, Mags is in chat. Only You is in chat. Good morning to you all. Welcome. It's good day to be on stream with Crypto Warehouse family. Thank you, Solo Sky, and nice comment there. And JC has asked what is going on with ETH. We're hopefully going to get through that when we get to the charts, and I'll very briefly speak about that. Good morning, Reza. Welcome back to the stream. Nice to see you all. There is a question of the day. The question of the day is Cardano a zombie chain? Obviously, Charles is annoyed at the press. Is Cardano a zombie chain? 36% have said yes. So far, 64% have said no. Get your votes in and let us know. So then, let's have a look at the charts now. This is one of those days where we could have been streaming. I could have just replayed the stream from Saturday. Bitcoin hasn't moved. 69.4 on Saturday, 69.390 today. We haven't moved at all. We did try to break up. We hit 69.8 and got rejected. It's to be expected. It's a Sunday night. I don't know what people think. Market cap is coming in down only 0.5%. Volume, of course, over the weekend is always negligible. Nothing really to say there. And Bitcoin dominance and ETH dominance together combined are only about 71, 72%. That hasn't really changed in weeks either. So as well as Bitcoin coming in below 70,000, ETH is back below 3,700. BNB is, well, BNB's, it rallied up to what, $710. We're back now. This is a healthy retracement for BNB. It's too excitable for an old coin like BNB. Its knees go. It needs a rest. It needs a sit down and a cup of tea. BNB needs a break. I thought it was getting overly excited last week, if I'm going to be honest. It needs to calm down. How are we going to catch it? Or how should I say, how is Solana going to catch it if BNB goes on these tears? It needs to relax a little bit. It did break 100 billion. It's now back beneath that. Solana has broken below $160. Remember, we've got to get back above $174 to carry on its merry way towards $200. XRP is coming in. The stable coin, formerly known as XRP, is coming in at just under 50 cents. And if we look at the 24-hour gainers and losers, Mantra is up 12. Notcoin, the scourge of the channel, is up. This is my warning, and it's not financial advice. Please don't go near this coin. It's trash. Okay, it's a trash coin. It's a game coin. I don't like it. I'm never going to like this coin. I've looked at the coin. I've reviewed it. I've made a video about it. I've looked at the tokenomics. There's nothing behind this coin. It's smoke in mirrors. It's Emperor's new clothes. I don't like it. If you want to trade it, long and short it, fine, make your profits on it. But for the long run, in 2 or 3 years' time, you're not even going to remember the name. No play, no pun intended. Monero is up just a touch. Quant is up. Quant is one of those coins. If you look at the tech behind Quant, it's outstanding. I made a video about this nearly 2 years ago. It's an incredible project. The issue is the price doesn't move because it's not sexy. Nobody talks about it, but it's the oil in the cogs of the machinery that powers the financial system. So Quant and XRP are closely tied. And as you can see, XRP isn't moving either. 24-hour losers then. Audi is down a touch. Sui is down, still above $1. Filecoin is down. BNB is down as well. Injective, there's not that many horrific losers, to be honest. Let's get on with some X files. Remember, if you are in chat and you have questions, ask. This is a two-way stream. I am not sitting here in front of a computer talking to myself for an hour. So if you have things to say, if you have things to get off your chest, even if it's to let me know what you're drinking for while you're watching the stream, let me know. I am all ears. So what's your guru? Bitcoin has a larger market cap than the top 3 banks in the world combined. JP Morgan, Bank of America, JC Bank of China, all come in with a smaller market cap than Bitcoin. We are going to the moon with Bitcoin. It will just take some time. That's what you have to bear in mind. We looked at the top 10 assets in the world. Bitcoin is sitting just behind silver. It's going to overtake silver. It's not going to get to gold in this bull run. Maybe another bull run, maybe another 2 bull runs, yes, but certainly not going to happen in this bull run. Good morning, Danny. Welcome to the stream. Now, this is the year-to-date performance of bond ETFs and Bitcoin ETFs. As you can see, they are trashed this year so far. They are all down. They're really not doing very well. And then all of a sudden, you go to the bottom and you see Bitwise, ARK, Fidelity, and BlackRock. If you were investing in Bitcoin at the start of the year, you would be up almost 50%. ADA seems to pump at the end of the cycle. Absolutely. We're going to get onto that when we talk about the chart. I'm going to talk about Charles. See, Charles, if you know what Charles looks like, he's a very young man. I think he's not even 30 yet. He's got a beard, he's got glasses, he looks 50. He looks older than me, and that's saying something, because I look like a very old man. I look like Gandalf on a bad day. Charles looks really old. Cardano is the person that turns up to the party at 2:30 with the bottle of Jack Daniels and starts to rave on the dance floor. Everybody else is tired. Everybody else is asleep on the sofa or asleep on the stairs, and Charles and Cardano just dance in the middle of the dance floor for an hour at the end of the party, and they are the last to the party. And it happened in the last bull run. Everybody had given up on Cardano except for the Cardano community. BounceBit, Roman, I made a video about BounceBit, which is on the channel. So go and have a look at that. We might have a look at it if we get some time. My puppy jumped on the computer. I don't too sure what your puppy typed. Harry. Maybe your puppy was trying to type hello. Who knows? Anyway, as you can see, good old ETFs are all the rage right now, and that's pretty much what we cover in the X files. We don't talk about too much in the main articles. The US Bitcoin ETFs last week bought 2 months' supply in a week. So 3,150 Bitcoin were mined last week. 25,700 were bought. Now, for those of you that have ever played Hungry Hippos, it's a game where you have a circular board full of marbles, and you have these plastic hippos, and you press this little lever and it gobbles up all of the marbles. And the fewer the marbles are on the board, the more hectic the hippos go, until there's only 1 or 2 left, and then the game descends into chaos. Okay? We are nearly, not quite, we are nearly at the point of chaos in the markets. I would say we are 18 months away from absolute sheer panic over Bitcoin. Now, if you listen to Rich Dad Poor Dad, he seems to think that's going to happen in August. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's been writing too many books. Anyway, I think we've got a while yet. We've still got 2 million Bitcoin on exchanges. But if you're taking 25,000 a week, 100,000 a month, over a course of the next year, that's going to be 1 million, potentially 1 million gone. That's half of the supply. Suddenly, when we get below 1 million Bitcoin on exchanges, that's when the news articles are going to come out. Now, that could take another year or so, so you still have plenty of time. Don't listen to these influencers that telling you that Bitcoin's going to hit this huge supply shock in the next week or two. It's not going to happen. It's going to take some time, but you have plenty of time to see it happening. Good morning to Fran. Welcome to the stream, and I believe Mags is in chat as well. Good morning to you. Remember, if you're new here, smash the like button, say hello, let me know who you are, let me know your thoughts. I am going to get onto ETH. I haven't forgotten the question from JC. Justin Moon, the DEX aggregator is set to launch on Base this week with its unique gamification system, AI contract reader, and mystery box campaign. I have made a video about WolfSwap, and it is nowhere near the scale of Jupiter. Let's just put that out there. But if you are going to grow as a DEX aggregator, you are going to need to be multi-chain in the future, in my opinion. Jupiter have put all of their eggs into Solana. A few others have put their eggs into Ethereum, and some have gone on to layer 2s and not moved from layer 2s. I think there is an argument to say that you should be picking growing layers to introduce your DEX to, and I think WolfSwap are very small right now. I'm not sure of the market cap, but I think WolfSwap is going to go places. Now, the reason I've highlighted this is Whale Insider have started following them. They're another good account that give us information that we can use on the stream. And, of course, WolfSwap we've made a video about, and we like the project. Again, nothing on this show is sponsored. Everything is my opinion. I am the Switzerland of crypto. Mags has said, what do you think of DOT and the news of RWA on it? I am not a fan of DOT. I don't like Gavin Wood. I don't like the rumours about Gavin Wood. I don't like the history of Gavin Wood. And because of Gavin Wood being the head of DOT, I am not going to talk about DOT. Really. Brogan may discuss it on the stream. RWA is a big thing. Now, I think I was going to put an article in this today about covering RWA, funnily enough, and I took it out and swapped it for the not article, so maybe tomorrow we'll cover it. RWA is the big thing. You have some really huge buzzwords at the minute. You have RWA, real world assets. You obviously have AI, artificial intelligence. You also have DPIN, decentralized physical infrastructure networks. DPIN. That's another one. Not as sexy, doesn't sound as sexy as RWA, doesn't have the money behind it like RWA, but we have looked recently at IO, which is the biggest decentralized computing network. That token is going to go live in 2 or 3 days. I'm very bullish on that token. I think that's going to do really well. But for me, I can't cover DOT. I don't agree with him. I think there's something sinister behind him. And he's one of these people that if he was, if there was a Dawn raid and it was in the news that he'd been raided at Dawn, it would not surprise me. So I think we'll leave it at that. I don't really want to say too much about it because it's too controversial. Big rumour, BlackRock all set to apply for Solana ETF next month. This is a rumour. I do not believe this to be true. I believe this is testing the waters. If you're a football or a soccer fan, you will know when you see players being mentioned in the press being associated with the football club. I don't know. Lionel Messi returning to Europe to go and play for Liverpool. That is normally the agent or somebody with a vested interest trying to test the waters to see what the reaction is. This is Bitcoin LFG or whoever announcing this, trying to get ahead of the game. We all know Solana is going to be the next ETF. You would have to be an idiot to pick a different blockchain to be the next ETF. It's going to be Solana. But there is no way on earth that BlackRock is going to announce this until the day of the Ethereum ETF going live. BlackRock are super bright, super clever. They know that they do not want to rock the boat, muddy the waters until their product is physically trading. Now, I think it's going to be July the 4th that the Ethereum ETF goes live. And this beautifully segues into the question with from JC, which is, what's happened with Ethereum? Ethereum ripped up, almost hit $4,000 and didn't move. Bitcoin moved last week, Ethereum didn't move. Why? Because the S1s were submitted, and that's the final application or the final form that needs to be submitted to the SEC. The SEC are trying to rush it through. Now, we need the news from the SEC that they're being approved and that those ETFs can go live. Now, normally it's 3 to 4 weeks from now before they can go live, normally. I think July the 4th, because America has this lovely habit of trying to arrange things along certain dates. You know, certain date in September, certain date in July. They always try to do these things. So from July onwards, I will believe these stories. Until then, this is just absolute gossip. I could have published this with the same amount of research and the same amount of knowledge that they have. There is a rumor. Who is that rumor spread by? Probably a crypto influencer somewhere. We've been talking about it for weeks. Obviously, we're not on the scale of the big influencers, but we've been talking about it for weeks, which means they've been talking about it for weeks, which means somebody's put 2 and 2 together and gone, right, we're going to make this rumor announcement. And that's what they've done. That's all they've done. It's ridiculous. Now, Ethereum will move the second that they have the date for the ETF go live. Everybody is waiting for that. Ethereum had its move before Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin move last week, which could be argued was a fake out, we'll look at the chart in a minute, that came after the Ethereum pump. Ethereum isn't just going to keep pumping. So Ethereum is waiting at this $37, $36, $3,800. The second it's approved, it would not surprise me to see Ethereum ranging up towards $4,500, $4,800. Absolutely. That's where I think we're going to go next. Opportunity. Bitcoin whales open massive long positions at $69,000. What do Bitcoin whales love to do with you? Wreck you. At 70, 71,000, everyone is putting in longs. So what do the whales and the hedge funds do? They short Bitcoin. Bitcoin comes crashing down to $69,000. Everybody's now talking about $60,000, 57. I think Kabir mentioned $57,000 this week on the stream on Saturday. The mentality has changed. What do Bitcoin whales want to do now? There is $1 billion worth of short positions which can be liquidated this week if they push the price to $71,000, $72,000. They play games with you. This is when you hear the whale games. This is what whale games are. They wait for you to become confident in a price move, and then they go in the opposite direction. Now, on Friday on the stream, I said, I think we're not going to go to 72 or 73. I think we will go between 71 straight to 74. And then very briefly, for half a second at the end, I said, and if we don't, and if we bounce, we might touch 69. So there's my get out, because you've always got to have a get out. 69 is solid support. It's previous all-time high. That is where I think we are going to go up. I think we're going to go up next. Everything is at key levels of support. Today, we are going to look at some charts. We're going to look at the Bitcoin chart in a minute. We are then going to look at the Cardano chart, and we're going to look at the Link chart. So we are going to look at some charts in a minute. But these long positions at $69,000, when longs are opened by whales, they are signaling where the market is going to go. Now, these are not just a few positions. This is a lot. And they know there's $1 billion waiting for them to be liquidated. And that is the key. So data shared by another analyst, Ali Martinez, supports this optimistic outlook in an X post on June the 7th. Bitcoin taker buy sell ratio. I maybe can't read all these things out. Notably, the data comes in the wake of a report by CryptoQuant which identified a surge in demand for Bitcoin from whales and permanent holders. It's worth noting that the current activity of Bitcoin whales mirrors their movements in 2020, just before the asset rallied from $10,000 to $60,000. Now, ask yourself a question. I've just told you that the ETFs bought 23,000 Bitcoin last week, and we didn't really move, did we? Why? Why aren't we moving? Why aren't we going to $80,000, $85,000, $90,000? Because the whales know that you expect that, and they are playing you off. They are trying to liquidate you. Liquidating you cascades the price down. So it's a game that they're playing. Is it morally right? No. Is it legal? Yes. So they're playing games with everybody. We are at 69.4. Is that a coincidence when our previous all-time high was 69.4? No, it's not. There aren't that many coincidences in crypto. So we're at the level that they want us to be at. And they're going to wait and they're going to see whether they can shake you more to the downside, or whether they'll say, you know what, $1 billion, that's worth doing. Now we're going to pump to the upside. So we are at, yet again, another critical week in Bitcoin. When do we not have a critical week in Bitcoin? It's the same every week. We talk about the FOMC meetings. We talk about interest rates. The ECB, the European Central Bank, have just dropped their interest rates. The UK is likely to follow. So we have indications that prices are going to start coming down. Okay, we have indications that interest rates are going to come down. Interest rates come down, risk on assets go up. Now, we can move this line here. This is our bull market support band. You can now see the bull market support band is coming in at $62,000. What is so important about $62,000 line? We have used it as a really good level of support over the last month and a half, 2 months. We are moving back up. This is on the daily chart. We are moving back up. Again, we are struggling at this level here that we have struggled at. We have knocked on the door 4 times and they have asked us very impolitely to go away 4 times. Eventually, we're going to come back with a battering ram and we're going to smash the door open. And when we smash the door open, we're going to pump. And we are going to go, and we have to get above, if you look at this volume area gap here, okay, we are going to go from 71.5 to 74,000 before you can say, where's my Tesla? That's what's going to happen. Now, to get there, we have to break the door down. And that is where we're having a problem, because we're having whale games played against us and they're trying to keep the price suppressed. I know they'll make more money in the long run by the price going up, but also the higher the price goes, the less impact their Bitcoin will have on the market. So we're here, 69.4, where we were on Saturday. We haven't moved. It's very boring, but expect some kind of games in about 4 hours time. Also, good morning, Peter. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Remember, if you're new here, smash the like button, say hello, and let me know what you're doing today. So price targets haven't changed in weeks. 73,780, 74,000 is the target. If we want to head towards that price, we've got to break this 71.5 level that we've touched several times. We are sitting below 70,000. If we were to come back down, we would come down to 67.4. So that's kind of what we need to do. Are we going to do this today? Over the next few days, are we going to do that? Or are we going to say, you know what? I've got my battering ram. Here we go. Off to the moon. I've no idea. I'm not going to lie to you. Why would I? I don't know where we're going to go. I think we're going up. I think this was a shakeout and a liquidation of the longs. And now I think it's time for a shakeout and liquidation of the shorts. And if we liquidate the shorts, the price goes up. Remember, the price can cascade down and the price can cascade up. That's what you've got to remember. Now then, have I or have I not been saying this on this channel for months? Charles Hoskinson, criticises the media's unfair coverage of Cardano. He is one of my favourite characters in crypto, and what he gets away with saying on his live streams, if I said even one sentence of what he says on his live stream, I would be kicked off every streaming platform that we stream on. And he somehow gets away with it. It's incredible. I'm very happy I finally made a good investment and loaded up on Mantra last week, and it's flying with great news. About time to sell. Yeah, sell the news. Buy the room, sell the news. We will probably see lower before we move higher. Well, you know what? We don't know, do we? We don't know what's going to happen in the market today. You can't have 21,000, 23,000 Bitcoin a week being bought and the price still go down. Remember, the target was the longs last Friday, and we took them out. The target this week is the shorts. There's $1 billion in liquidations waiting for them at $71,000. Why would the price go lower? Because that makes the shorts more money. Could we wick to 68.8, 68.2 today? Absolutely. But I don't think we're going to go crashing down. I think there's so much beneath us. I think we're looking up. So Charles, the founder of Cardano, expressed frustration over what he views as unfair media coverage of the blockchain's network progress. Now, I watched a little bit of this interview, live stream. He's not happy. He's not happy. And these are his words, not mine. It's beyond pathetic and just reflects on the low quality and low effort they put into our ecosystem. Cardano is here to stay, and it's a juggernaut that will drag this industry kicking and screaming, if it has to, towards solving the real-world economic, political and social issues we face. That's his argument. In response to the perceived bias, Hoskinson contemplates creating a not-for-profit media decentralized autonomous organization. He said this DAO would focus on ensuring fair reporting within the crypto industry. He put out a poll. Meanwhile, it's not the first time he's addressed Cardano's critics. They faced scrutiny for not meeting expectations compared to Ethereum and Solana. Early in the year, Forbes included Cardano in its zombie chain list, claiming the network's value is primarily driven by his popularity. Additionally, Cardano has seen limited adoption in DeFi, with its DEX trading volume just 0.04% of the market. Nevertheless, Cardano continues to highlight its tech advancements. There's a huge upgrade coming to Cardano in the next few weeks. I think it's actually penciled in for June. Now, I'm going to agree with this. And I think that Charles is getting Cardano out there, yes. But it's not sexy. And I like to use that word. You all know I like to use that word. You can pick any one of the top chains and I'll tell you why it's sexy. So you can pick Solana. We don't need to talk about why Solana is sexy. It just is. Why is Ethereum sexy? Because it's got all the big banks going to it. Why is BNB sexy? Because of the backing behind it and what's going to happen with the staking of that platform. Now, it's not sexy in terms of being in the news. It just gets on with its job. XRP has sexiness applied to it because it's in with all the cool kids, in with all the banks. So you can see why all of these other chains can be considered sexy, but where's Cardano's sexiness? Where is the Shakira of Cardano? There isn't one. And Charles is certainly not Shakira. Number one, he has a beard. Number two, he has glasses. Number three, he takes cold baths, and you don't want to watch those videos. So where is the sexiness associated with Cardano? Where are the Cardano influencers? Where is the bullish news about Cardano? I follow Jason Crow, who is a big Cardano maxi. I follow DZ, who also supports Cardano, but they're few and far between. So because of this sexiness, you've got to remember sexiness moves prices. It's not just about the tech, it's about everything that goes with the tech. And Cardano, for me, solid blockchain, incredible proof of stake system, but it's nowhere near the finished article. If you want to go and use Jupiter on Solana, you've got a great wallet, you've got a great user interface, you've got liquidity, you've got coins, you've got Twitter, Chatter, all going on. I would argue that Kronos is faster, cheaper, it has more, hype around it in terms of its DeFi, especially, than Cardano. And that's not me fading on Cardano. I love Cardano to bits, but it needs to have sexiness. It needs to have a blow-off top meme coin. It needs to have a better way of interacting with the DEX, because last time I tried to use it, it was like trying to get an elephant into the back of a Mini. It just wouldn't work. It timed out. My transaction took 15 minutes. So it's got problems, but they are not problems caused by the chain being faulty. They're caused by the chain not being finished. Now, in terms of the price action, again, we always talk about picking up coins at this level here. This is a great level to get a coin. Cardano is stuck below its bull market support band, which is coming in at 54 cents. 50 cents is its target. Now, if Cardano is going to make a move, remember it was starting to move up here at this level, and now we've had a bit of a crash, which has coincided with Bitcoin. So as you see, we were going to move up, Bitcoin crashed, we came straight back down. The next move logically is up here. Look at the RSI on the daily, it's coming down. I've drawn a pair of boobs again, I always do that. So this is a great price for Cardano. I don't care what people say. Now, one of the comments in chat about Cardano today was, Cardano finishes the bull run. It's the last leg of the bull run, as far as I'm concerned. It never pumps pre-Bitcoin. It never pumps pre-Ethereum. It will pump at the end of the party. As I said at the start of the stream, it turns up at 2:30 in the morning, everybody's asleep, and it's drinking its whiskey on the dance floor, doing head spins and having a good old boogie. And that is what happened in the previous bull run. If you go back here, it's a long way away. So you go back here, we did rip on Cardano. We got all the way up to $3. $3 we got to on Cardano. We're at 44 cents. Can we see previous all-time highs on Cardano? I think so. I don't think we're going to go to $20. I don't think we're going to go to $10, but I do think we could easily go to $5 on Cardano, $4 or $5 on Cardano, easily in this next bull run, because the money flows out of Bitcoin, flows into Ethereum, then it flows into Cardano. If Cardano is seen as a cheap coin, it will pump and it will move mountains. It will move 10, 20, 30 cents in a day. That's what Cardano does. So 44 cents is a good price. I think we need to break above 50 to 55 cents to seriously consider going anywhere. And recent all-time highs in March, we were up towards 80 cents. So we're a good 90% away from getting back to where we were on Cardano. It's a good price to accumulate it at. I don't see there's an issue with buying Cardano at that price at all. Let me just very quickly check the comments before we move on to the next one. The US market will dump for lower entries. The US stock market will have a little crash and the banks will struggle. Bad news coming for the stocks. Do you know what? I know I've heard about this. 63 banks on the brink of collapse in America. Now, I'll take you back to about a year ago, beginning of last year. We had two major bank collapses in the first couple of months of last year. And then that did rock the market because one of them was associated with crypto directly. And that was all people talking about Operation Choke Point and all of these things. Fine. What did we do when all of the other banks went bust throughout the year? We didn't do anything. We didn't even know about them. 63 banks sounds like a lot, but if their combined assets under management are 50 billion, it's not worth worrying about. There are no major banks about to go bust. There will be potentially more bad news from China than anywhere else. And that's because China is on the brink. We've talked about what could possibly be black swans. And again, to get to 57,000, like Kabir said, or 56,000 are down there, you've got to look at where are we going to go? How do we get there? How do we lose that much market cap from where we are now? Because that's almost a 20% dip. We've just had the 20% dip. We're going to have another one straight away. So what could the black swans be? We know about Taiwan. That is certainly a black swan. Eastern Europe. Is something going to happen with the establishment in America to cause more issues in Eastern Europe? That's a possibility. But those black swans, in my opinion, are being outweighed by the fact that inflation is back down, interest rates are being cut, which is money being pumped into the economy. The growth of America has now been slashed. Now, what that means is that Biden is going to turn around to Powell and say, listen, sunshine, it's election year. Everybody in the country is poor. I don't give a monkeys about inflation. Cut interest rates. It would be unthinkable to go into this election in November at 5 basis points of 5% interest rates in America. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I don't care what you're being told. It's not going to happen. Look at what Rishi Sunak has done. Rishi Sunak is now bragging about inflation coming below 2.5%, number one. And the second, the election is July the 4th. We are, what are we now? 4 weeks away from the election in the UK. I guarantee interest rates are going to come down in the UK in the next 3 or 4 weeks. And he's going to say, look, guys, interest rates are coming down. Inflation is down. We're all rich. Please pretend you're all rich. Biden has more time because his election is in November. So don't believe that we are not out of the woods when clearly we are. The money printing has washed through the system. Inflation is coming down, and now it's time to cut the interest rates and allow people to spend. I know you've got people like Peter Schiff talking about a double bottom and inflation's going to pump up. We know about all of that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Now, I'm going to answer the question from Roman. Is BounceBit airdrop distribution still going on? It hasn't started. As far as I'm aware, the BounceBit airdrop is going to be finished in a couple. It was a month-long farm, so it's going to take a couple of more weeks for you to be able to claim it. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. It's still going on. You can still participate. So very critical week is ahead. Here are the economic developments and altcoin events to follow day by day, hour by hour. We don't need to go through these one by one. So on Monday, markets in China and Hong Kong are closed for holidays. That's neither here nor there. We don't need to know about the Apple event. We don't care about any of these things. Tuesday, Franklin Templeton Ethereum ETF decision. So Tuesday could be a big day for the Ethereum ETF. FET. So this is also big news I've completely forgotten about. So those altcoins which we've talked about time and time again on this channel, they are being merged starting from Tuesday, and it will be finished by Thursday. So that's big news for the market. I expect those coins to pump this week, certainly. Wednesday, nothing really on Wednesday. Here we go. Right, okay, so on Wednesday, we have the CPI coming out. We have the Federal Open, FOMC, okay. So, Wednesday's the big day, FOMC statement. Is he going to cut interest rates? Now, that's going to be the question. If he cuts interest rates, we're at 72,000 immediately, and we're going to see a God candle. If he comes out and he holds rates, which is expected, he's expected to hold the rates, then it all depends on what he says. Okay, so he will come out at 9:30. Here we go. Powell will speak at the press conference. Now, what he says is more important than holding the rates. If he comes out and he seems to be defeated, if he seems to be backed into a corner, remember they're supposed to cut interest rates 3 times this year. It's been cut to 2. We're in June. He's only got July, August, September, October. He's only got 4 months before the election. So the longer he delays this, the more he compresses the good news for us. It's like shaking a bottle of champagne, and then it's going to pop. And when it pops, Bitcoin is going to come flying out of that bottle of champagne, and we're never going to see it again. We don't know where it's going to go. That's what's going to happen. If he comes out and he says, right, job market is weakening, housing market is weakening, the CPI is on target, we're all looking good for a rate cut in July or August. If he says that, prices will go up. Not as much as a rate cut, but prices will go up. If he comes out and he says it's a barrel of monkeys, we don't know what's going on, It's all going to pot. If he says that, then expect a minor dump. And that could tie in with what Peter and Only You were saying in chat, which is there might be a market crash. If the market crashes, I think it's likely to happen on Wednesday. Thursday then, moving on to some more positive news. Unemployment claims, again, that's important. Believe it or not, they want more people to be unemployed, because the more people that are unemployed, the better it is for the market. We don't want a market where everybody has a job, because that puts pressure on inflation, believe it or not, and wage inflation. So that's never good. The CPI comes out the day after as well. Friday, the most important day of the week. Euro 2024 starts, and if England doesn't win the Euros this year, we are never going to win the Euros, ever. And then the US Federal Reserve Monetary Policy Report comes out on Friday as well. So look, again, this is the most important week in crypto, the same as maybe next month we're going to have the most important week in crypto. And what you need to do is you need to look at where you should take advantage of these things. So Tariq said the right thing in chat on Saturday. What should I be buying Woo? Should I be buying Dupe at these prices? And that's the right way to look at the market. Our markets were closed today for the King's birthday. What King? The King of England. Really? I didn't know we had a birthday for the King of England. I don't think it's a bank holiday today, is it? Anyway, so where are we? So, 2 oversold cryptocurrencies for the week, according to Anina Alex. Now, let's just see what they are before we rail on her. The release of robust US job data on Friday altered the sentiment, hinting at a hawkish stance by the Federal Reserve. Basically, unemployment wasn't high enough, therefore interest rates won't be cut. That's very simple. But we have entered oversold territory for a lot of altcoins. I know a lot of you have been buying the dip, but hopefully you've taken some profits along the way and you've got some money on the side. Now, I don't agree with Dog with Hat. I'm very sorry. I don't think any sensible crypto journalist or anybody worth their salt should be picking a meme coin on a retracement. Yes, they retrace more than others. I totally agree with that sentiment. If Bitcoin falls 5%, meme coins can go down 30%. I totally get that. But they're high-risk plays. So I'm not going to agree with Dog with Hat at all. I'm not going to agree with Bonk or Pepe. I wouldn't be looking at this retracement to pick up meme coins. I just wouldn't. I'd be looking to buy sensible projects. So I don't agree with this one at all. But if you want to go and have a play with Dog with Hat, then by all means, go for it. Now, the next one up is Chainlink. This presents a compelling case as an oversold crypto. The 4-hour RSI 29.5 indicates an immediately oversold condition. Currently trading at 1550, the RSI points upwards. So for a week-long investment perspective, WIF and Link show promising buy signals. Let's go and have a look then at Link. Remember, I am not quite in the Link army, but I am a big fan of Chainlink. It's the biggest oracle in the world. It's also heavily involved with RWAs. There's a lot going on for Link. So today it's coming in at $16. And it's, again, a lot of these coins are at critical prices. She is absolutely correct. The RSI is low. We are sitting just under the bull market support band. Now, what is likely to happen is that we break it and we come back up towards $18. Again, $18, we've used it as support over here. Looks like it's going to be resistance now. So $18 is a good target for Link. Listen, for me, anything under $20 for Link is a good deal. Why? Because I genuinely believe this is going to go to $100 in the bull run. And over time, because of its connections, because of what it does, I've made videos about Link. I've made videos about how it is connected to the real world, which is what all of crypto is supposed to be trying to do, is find solutions for real world problems. Chainlink is one of them. So for me, anything under $20 anyway is a bargain, but it's sitting at a good price. $16 is a good price for me. Again, if we don't break up Where are we likely to come down? So if there is a dump, as has been suggested by a couple of people in chat, then the price would come down to $14. We've got previous at $14. So $14, if you want to wait and see what happens at 4 o'clock, then $14 would be an incredible price to buy. Because remember, at $14, what we are likely to see is that, which is another move down. Now, every time you see the RSI dip down here to these levels, you always see price movement to the upside. Now, if this continues to go down and comes down to about these levels here, I mean, look at that crash there, which was down to 26. So if you come back down to 26, we would see this kind of wick down, that kind of price crash there. Now, after every crash, you have a rally. So if we do come to $14, for example, buying at $14 and then flipping it at $16.50 or $17 is going to give you 20% straight away. So that could be a short-term play, but for me, I don't really care. I'm holding Chainlink for the next year. If we get anywhere near $80, $90, I will start to sell Chainlink. Absolutely. I think I bought it at $6 or $7. I'm not going to wait for any more on that. So Chainlink's a good one. Dow Jones will be smashed tonight. Don't be surprised if it goes down 1 or 2%. Maybe we will. And the question is, how does Bitcoin respond to that? Because if the Dow Jones is going to crash, as expected, as you expect, then the ETFs will sell. And if the ETFs sell and everybody else sells, then we are going to see one almighty tank. But the longer that we go on like this, Wednesday's the day. If we do crash and the markets tank before the Fed meeting and the Fed announcement, and people know what's going to happen, and we do tank, then we have so many levels underneath us for support on Bitcoin. We've got 69, we've got 67, 62, 60. We have a lot of levels to hit. So I'm not expecting a 20% retracement on Bitcoin. That's a serious retracement. We're not overbought anymore, so I don't see it. But if they do crash, they do crash. I've seen nothing in the news to suggest a crash. Right, 35 altcoins have massive token unlocks in the news this week. Here's the day by day, hour by hours. Bitcoin Systemi has somehow managed to sneak into my stream twice in a day. Right, so Cetus, again, market value, not important. Alt layer, slightly bigger, not overly important. I mean, look at these market caps. These unlocks, right, when a coin unlocks less than 2 or 3% of its market supply or market cap, it's irrelevant. It's utterly irrelevant. So ignore anything under. Now, this one, Chile, never heard of it. Got a market value of 1.1 billion. It's got a 43% unlock. That's a danger. That's going to happen today in, I don't know what 12 o'clock is, whatever time it is. Wormhole, again, irrelevant. Say, irrelevant. ChainGPT, 5%, irrelevant given the market value. ICP, irrelevant given the market cap and market value. Goldfinch, irrelevant. Gods Unchained, 2%, not going to move it an awful lot. BitMEX, Moonbeam, irrelevant. DYDX, I wouldn't worry about that one. Massa, Aptos. Aptos, yes, maybe. Aptos, 3.7 billion, 2.5% unlocked. Maybe that will have a little bit of a dump. There's tons of these. You just got to go through them and check. Anything below 3%, 2 or 3% really isn't a problem. Ali, nearly 4%, but again, the market cap isn't high. 5% for Starknet, that will make a difference. 1.5 billion. Token unlocks of 76 million, 5%. That will make a difference to Starknet if you're holding any. There's thousands of these. I wasn't expecting it to be this long. 3% on ARB, not interested. Uniswap, 1 point whatever. So there's a couple in there to look out for. And what I would do as well is sometimes if the market pumps and you see the odd coin drop and you don't know why, it is likely to do with either something fundamentally wrong with the chain or the project, or there's been a token unlock. We looked at quite a few of these over the last few months. Some have dipped a lot further than others, and that's what you've got to be careful of. Right, let's move on very quickly then. We are doing incredibly well for time. Incredibly well. 10 to 12, and we're on the last article, which is great. So if you've got any questions for me, drop them in chat, and after we've gone through this, I will have a quick read through them, see if there's anything I can answer. If you've got any projects that want reviewing, let me know. I will have a look at them. One very quick thing, we interviewed Pamper, who is a Kronos ambassador for the Kronos chain. Not sponsored. We interviewed Pamper on Saturday after our live stream, and it's about a 40-minute, 35-minute interview where we talked about all things to do with the Kronos chain. The reason I'm interested in the Kronos chain is it reminds me of Solana 2 or 3 years ago, which was, there were people who, if you said 2 or 3 years ago you held Solana, you got laughed at. And they kept building. They built out, Jupiter, Camino, Meteora, all of these projects, which are now tokens that you can trade on your exchanges. They were all being built while people were laughing at them for being on Solana. And for me, Kronos chain is the same thing. It's an independent chain. It's not connected to anybody. It's about to introduce a lot of ZK stuff. Good morning, Tariq. Welcome back to the stream. Remember, if you're new here, smash the like button, say hello, drop some comments. Let me know how you feel today. Let me know how you feel on the markets. We have got a question of the day. Is Cardano a zombie chain? 39% say yes, 61% say no. Is Cardano a zombie chain? I'll give you my opinion at the end. Anyway, Tariq, you're late, so you've missed all the TA I've given on 3 coins that if you bought and sold them today, you'd make enough money to get a Tesla. So you've missed that, unfortunately. That's what happens when you are late. Now, Notcoin, price prediction. Could this worldwide viral coin reach $1? Now, I've left this till last because I am sick to the back teeth of people being lied to about coins. Okay? Now, I'm very quickly going to bring this up because this for some reason was making the stream crash. Okay, so Notcoin is at 1.8 cents. To get to $1, it's going to have to 50x. That would give it a market cap of, is that 100 billion? Okay, $100 billion. That's all I needed to know. Okay, so again, Arsan Butt. Okay, what an appropriate name, Mr. Butt. Could this worldwide viral coin reach $1? Number one, this is clickbait. And number two, I don't have to read one sentence more to realize that this is rubbish. It's never going to hit $1. Never going to hit $1. Buy that coin and trade it on day trades or hour trades or even week trades. This is going to go to zero. This is a fad. There will be 50 more coins about clicking on Telegram. There will be 100 more projects tapping into the popularity of Notcoin. The market will be flooded with more Notcoins, and people will go from one to the next, to the next, to the next, the same way they do with meme coins. And this coin is trash. It is absolutely trash. Give my opinion about Litecoin. Okay, what I'll do at the end of this rant is I'll very quickly bring up the Litecoin chart and then give you my opinion on it. Let's get into it though. Let's not just disregard Mr. Butt. Not was trading at 2 cents, big trading volume. It's dropped 4.5% in the last 24 hours. It's ranked 55 amongst cryptocurrencies. It's got a cap of 2 billion. Circulating supply is 102 billion. So 102 billion coins. $1 a coin would be 102 billion. So the price prediction, this is the best bit. I love things like this. It's currently As we say, trading, it's got 50% Fibonacci retracement at 1.7. In this case, the formation of a doji candle, 50% retracement, suggests market indecision because it's trash, I'm afraid. Immediate resistance for Notcoin is at 1895. Good TA. This means the price might struggle above this level. There is the outlook. Very good. If Notcoin can surpass these levels, could it get to 2.3, 2.4 cents? Now, in his defense, in my video that I made about Notcoin a couple of weeks ago, I said the coin would launch between 1 and 2 cents. I said I would sell it at that price. I said in the bull run, potentially fully maxed out, it could get to 2 to 3 cents. That was it, based on market demand, market supply. You've got to remember, it's a one-trick pony. It doesn't do anything. It's a crap game, and that's really all you need to know about it. In conclusion, where's the $1 price prediction then? The current technical outlook for Notcoin suggests buying above this. Okay, so in this article he's just given, he has made zero reference to $1. He has not made a single reference to anything in this title. Now, what I would do, which I'm not going to do, I know what I might do actually. I might message Arsan and ask him why he's made such a clickbait title and then not referenced it anywhere in his article. Even at the end, if he'd have said to reach $1, it would require a market cap of 102 billion, which is equivalent to the entire BNB market cap at the minute. It is not likely to happen. Did he say that in his article? No, he didn't. Why? Because like most people you read online, they do half a job. And it annoys me because retail come to crypto and they read this and they don't read any more than $1 and they go and buy it at 1.9 cents and then wonder why it's trading at under a cent in a month's time. It's irresponsible and they all do it. I'm not picking on Mr. Butt, although he has a very appropriate name. I'm picking on the industry as a whole. Look at what Charles was saying before. They decide on a narrative and they stick to it. They will talk trash. They talked trash about Solana. They talked trash about BNB. They've talked trash about XRP. And now they're talking trash about Cardano. And Notcoin, the next article likely to be put up on Crypto News in 6 months' time will be, what happened to Notcoin? That will be the article. And you're sitting there thinking, but hang on a minute, you told me it was going to go to $1. Oh no, that wasn't financial advice, that was just an opinion, at which point we never mentioned anything about the dollar in the article. It's utter BS, and it's totally irresponsible. Right then. Okay, Litecoin, okay. The issue I've got with Litecoin is that it was 2 cycles ago an incredible coin, and I used to mine Litecoin in 2018, maybe 2017. I mined Litecoin. Now let's go to the weekly just to show you the issue that I have with Litecoin. If you expect all-time highs on Litecoin, how do you get them? So let's very quickly put this line in here. Okay, so $390 was the all-time high for Litecoin. Now, if this was a meme coin and it was the daily chart, I would tell you this was a pump and dump. Okay, because that's how pump and dumps look. They pump, they buy back down here, they hype it up again, they sell here, and they leave you holding the bags. Now, Litecoin isn't a pump and dump scheme. I'm going to give you a scenario where Litecoin is going to go to $400. And that scenario is very simple. And it's one word, and it's ETF. Bitcoin immediately got its ETF after 10 years, if you spot the irony in that, because it's proof of work. It certainly isn't a security. And even Gary Gensler himself never goes after Bitcoin. So if you were going to create another proof of work blockchain ETF, what would you look at? Right, so we're going to go over here very quickly. We have some time so we can do this. I'm going to give you my bullish scenario on Litecoin. Okay, let me just get this up. Is it going to actually show me proof of work chains? Come on, seriously? Okay, we're just going to have to go down the list. So, this is the list of proof of work blockchains by market cap. Number 1, clearly Bitcoin. Number 2, clearly Dogecoin, coming in 8th position. Now, good old Litecoin is coming in 19th position. It's still got a really healthy market cap of $6 billion. Now, $6 billion for the 3rd biggest proof of work blockchain in the world. People still use Litecoin. It doesn't have the following that it had 4 or 5 or 6 years ago, but finance doesn't care about that. Finance looks at projects, doesn't actually care how much money it makes. So if Litecoin was approved for an ETF, it would probably pump the price by 3 or 4x, conservatively. So that would put Litecoin at $320. It's a really small market cap, it's 6 billion. We're talking about Ethereum. Ethereum's moved roughly 200 billion in market cap on the news of the Ethereum ETF. Now, Litecoin is a lot smaller. It's certainly not going to move 200 billion. But it also will move more in terms of multiples. So Ethereum did a 2x, still 200 billion. So if you said conservatively, it will move 30 billion. There we go. It'll move 30 billion. Well, that would potentially 6x it. And that would put it at $480 a Litecoin with the ETF approved. Do I think BlackRock are going to go after Litecoin after they've got Solana? Possibly. You have to think about what's next in line. People have talked about Chainlink, for example, being an ETF. People have mentioned in passing XRP. XRP is more than likely going to get an ETF, even though I completely disagree with that. So Litecoin has a bullish scenario to get it back above all-time highs at $390. If it doesn't get an ETF and it waits for the bull run, then it will probably get back towards $350. That's the scenario I can see for Litecoin. A bullish scenario. Bearish scenario is very simple. If you look at the volumes of some of these coins down here, you'll see it's got a trading volume of 312 million. It's pretty decent. And the reason it's pretty decent is that Litecoin is a great coin to use to send between blockchains. So when I used to send, if I wanted to send Bitcoin or US dollar between X exchange and Y exchange, I would use Litecoin. It's so quick. Remember, it is Bitcoin, just super, it's like Robocop. Bitcoin is the man, Litecoin is Robocop. It's got all the bells and whistles, and it's super cheap, super quick, doesn't have enough adoption, and it doesn't have sex appeal. Nobody talks about Litecoin memes. Nobody talks about Litecoin DeFi. Nobody talks about any of those things because it's not really that kind of chain, but it's really good to use. So for me, Litecoin has a bullish scenario that will put it at a 5 or 6x from where we are now. And that's not being moon boy. You might hear people saying it's going to go to $1,000. You might hear people saying it's going to $500. I think with an ETF, it will certainly go up 4 or 5x. And I'd say there's a 70% chance of a Litecoin ETF. I think there's more chance of a Litecoin ETF than a Dogecoin ETF, and Doge is second. It just wouldn't make sense to have a Dogecoin ETF. It makes sense to have XRP, it makes sense to have Solana, they're up there. But then if you go down the list, you know, Litecoin is proof of work. In theory, because Bitcoin has been approved, my argument was, before the ETF for Ethereum was approved, my argument was that you have to look at proof of work chains because they've already passed. And the top three are Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and Litecoin. Doge isn't going to get an ETF, so it has to be Litecoin. That was my bullish scenario. Now, if you look at the price action of Litecoin, you will see a pump. And that pump was on the idea that Litecoin could be an ETF. If we go back maybe a little bit further here. So that pump up there, which was to $109, I believe that was on the news that potentially Litecoin could become the next ETF. And, you know, $80 for Litecoin, is that a good price? What was the all-time high? I said $390. You know, Litecoin also has a halving, remember. Litecoin follows the same trajectory as Bitcoin. It has 4 times the amount of supply. We are at 74.5 million out of 84 million. So, you know, we've almost reached the same point that Bitcoin is at. The halvings are slightly different. But again, I'm just not a massive fan of the chain. It needs to get some heavy movers behind it. Look what's moving the markets right now are mainly the memes. The meme culture is moving the market massively, and of course TradFi is moving the markets massively. And Litecoin is doing neither of those two things. So where's the incentive? Litecoin could turn around tomorrow and say that the Litecoin Foundation is going to work on AI and RWA, and we've already got several deals lined up to use the Litecoin chain. This would be at $150 tomorrow if that news came out. So if you do follow Litecoin and there are developments on the chain, ping them across to me. I can have a look at them and maybe we can make a video about it and have a look. But that's pretty much it. Final thoughts then of the day before we go, because I think everybody's probably in tears by now because I've been streaming for over an hour. It's a big week. They're always big weeks. I don't think the markets are going to crash, but a lot of you in the chat do. And obviously, if we go off the rules of the many know more than the individual, you're probably all going to be right and the markets will crash. If Bitcoin comes down, it's got plenty of levels of support, 69, 67, 62, 60, plenty of levels of support. If we break 60,000, then I will stream tomorrow in Swedish. There's a promise to you. It might take me some time to translate everything into Swedish, but that's what I'll do tomorrow if we break 60,000 today. So take care, everybody. I'm off to make a video. Please make sure to watch the video that I made about the interview with Pampa. I am going to be covering, I do Solana a lot, and I don't want to be a one-trick pony. So I've expanded to Solana and the Kronos chain because I see potential in the Kronos chain. I like the people over there. I like the way that they're working. I was in a Spaces last night listening to them talking about Kronos. It's an undervalued chain. It's got no market cap. The TVL is really low, and I'm going to make videos about it because I like the projects over there as well. So Solana and Kronos from now on. The only thing I will say to you is don't also make sure to check out my video that I made on this, which is, hang on a second. I made a review about a game that's potentially got an airdrop associated with it, and certainly one to follow, and that is PlayDoge. So make sure to go and check them out. They're in pre-sale. They have, I believe, 3.5 million in pre-sale, which is pretty decent. It's a mobile game. It's 8-bit. If you're as old as I am, then you will remember Tamagotchi like I do. They haven't paid me to review this, by the way. I did this before with a few other coins. I've just found it. I like the game. That's very simple. So go and check out PlayDoge. There should be a link, and if not, there's certainly a video that I've made about it. Go and check it out. And with all that being said, if we have crashed, I will be speaking in Swedish to you tomorrow, which I really don't want to do. So I hope Peter is wrong. I hope only you is wrong. And until tomorrow, have a great afternoon. Take care, everybody. See you in the morning. Oh, before I forget, one last thing, sorry. Brogan is streaming at 5 p.m. He's doing the live trading, the markets today. He'll be on all the normal platforms that you'd expect. He will be live in 5 hours. So if the markets are correcting, he will be streaming it live. So go and check him out. I know it's really late for people like Peter, who's in Australia. I know it's really late for him. I also know it's really late for people like Tariq as well. So I understand that you guys can't make it. But if you are in the UK or Europe and you're about in 5 hours' time, go and check him out and stay or say hello to him. And until tomorrow, thank you, everybody. Remember to subscribe. Remember to follow. Remember to hit the like button and comment in chat. The final thing I'll say is Cardano a zombie chain? It's very close. Yes, 42%. No, 58%. So very close. So thanks, everybody. See you in the morning.